Hi, I'm Laura Kinghan. I am a nationally registered occupational therapist since 1983. I am also licensed by the state of Arizona to practice occupational therapy. I currently have a clinic here in Flagstaff, Arizona, but with the current virus situation, I have now shifted to being able to offer telehealth through my business, Sensory Solutions, Inc. My phone number is area code 631-848-8852. I can also be found on Facebook. You can PM me. You can also look at Sensory Laura for more specific information regarding my current services that I offer for sensory processing issues in particular. I also have a Facebook page at SSI FB. Some more general information about what I have to offer. But what I'd really like to do in this video is just talk a little bit about tactile processing and share with you my tactile box. It's something that I have been accumulating since the 80s. Like, for example, this. I would recommend, if you are working on issues with tactile processing, to keep your eyes out when you go shopping. Maybe just look around your house and see what you have, and accumulate a basket or a box of some different kinds of textured items that you can use. I would recommend, this has to be individual, but generally, like say every day, or in my sessions, at the beginning of each session, we would start by doing a tactile activity. I would also incorporate tactile equipment throughout my sessions, but typically I would start my session with a tactile activity that would help wake up the body. With autism and sensory processing issues, we are dealing with a neurological issue. One of the big ways our brain functions is through sensory information. So we use sensory information in our therapy to help address neurological issues. And we do it typically in a developmental fashion. Find out where an individual is functioning at developmentally, and then we go from there. Now, granted, I would do an evaluation first. Occupational therapy, we go through a procedure. We do an evaluation, we write a treatment plan, we make goals, and then we implement activities to address those goals, and we reevaluate and we see where we go. So let me show you my tactile basket with these different textures. Some of these are wood, so obviously are very hard. But then there's other things that are softer. And I would like to use a variety of different kinds of textures. So for example, when we would start a session, would sit down, may use like a textured mat to sit on. This is one texture. Here's another. That's a beach mat. And then way over there somewhere is a yoga mat. And that's foamy. So each, actually there's blankets too. Each item has a different texture, and I would like to use variety. Some people may be very stuck in just wanting certain types of textures, but I really generally aim for a variety. And what I would ask when we start our session, we may only spend, a couple minutes doing this, but you take the texture, the item, and work up the body. Now, I would let individuals pick which item they would like. For me, I have the ultimate control because of what's in this box. So everything in there is fine with me. But I like to let my clients have their own control too. Certainly, heaven knows in their behavior, a lot of times they are trying to seek control. Isn't that what we do when we have behaviors? A lot of times we're seeking control. So maybe there's a reason for that. There's no reason why I need to say, here, you have to do it this way. See, therapy, where I come from is therapy should be child-centered or individual-centered. It should come from within their own being. So I know what's best for myself, and a child, a client, they would know what's best for them. Now, I have some ideas what would be helpful. So I'm going to offer them some of these items, but they still get to choose. And when it comes to choice, when it comes to control, we want choice. I'm not going to give actually, this is a lot of choice. But generally, on a side note, I usually give like 2 or 3 choices, and that's it. You can have this or this. They get control, but without it being so overwhelming. Like, sometimes there's too many choices. This is a basket. That's cool for now. So, take a texture, work up your body. I will give the suggestion, start at your feet and work up. Because with the amount of pressure, what we're also doing is working the lymph system. See how I'm working my legs? I want to try to get as much cover as possible. Say, for example, somebody had a stroke. They have sensation issues too. Or they may actually have lack of sensation. This would be something I would do with somebody with a stroke. But I notice a lot of times with my kids, they tend to want to just do one area. A lot of people, why I mentioned stroke, is they may forget or have a lack of awareness that they need to work underneath their leg, that there's more leg than just the top. So I want to encourage without being too controlling, believe it or not. And then, let's see, I don't know if I can do this while I'm filming. I would want as much surface area to be covered, again, where the individual could feel safe. And even, you have to be safe with this. If you're at home and your child or whomever can just have their own items, then I would recommend doing the face as well, however much they tolerate. That would be helpful. Again, if that's related to their goals. I'm going to switch over. So in the beginning of my sessions, I would have individuals pick at least one. Some people are very needy for this, and they can spend a lot more time. Sometimes I'll offer lotion. I'm very careful anymore with that now because so many things that we use in our life these days have chemicals that I think are probably not the best for our bodies. So I would recommend a natural lotion with as minimal chemicals in it as possible. Personally, I like coconut oil. Not really effective and functional in a group therapy session. But if you're at home, coconut oil or something really pure like that, I would suggest maybe trying. But that's opening up to some other ideas for how to address this issue. So I could go on and talk about this, but I am available for therapy if you would like to contact me, whether telemed or clinical. I'd be happy to help you some more, whether it's for an evaluation, consultation, treatment. If you have a current script and a current evaluation, we can go ahead and start therapy right away. But really just wanted to introduce you to, tactile processing is really, really important for us, especially in this time of social distancing. A lot of us have been touched inappropriately, and yet touch is still so important. So being able to find a sense of balance with that is huge, and I think it's very underrated. So anyway, if you want to look at tactile awareness issues or whatever, you can contact an occupational therapist like me. Okay? Thank you very much. Be safe.